Now that we know who all the contestants will be this Saturday, we can begin to speculate on who will win the Money in the Bank ladder matches and why. So, ladies first. The 6 qualifiers for the women's match are Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Naomi, and Stephanie Vaquer. Let's talk about each one and what their prospects are. Up first, we have Alexa Bliss, who up until recently has been on the sidelines for an extended period. She's been away from the title scene for a good long while now, even before then, and she's not been a singles champion since even before COVID, and a superstar of Alexa's caliber would expect to have been challenging long before now, really. Alexa hasn't had too much to do since her return at the Rumble, with no notable feud of note. The way could be paved clear for her to get the briefcase. My gut tells me it won't be Alexa. I feel like she's still finding her feet back in the division, and unless they've solid plans for her, I think WWE are still looking to see where she fits back in. It wouldn't be unheard of for WWE to give her the briefcase because she has nothing else going on right now. I feel that's the kind of thing they've done before. But I guess WWE will have to assess her long-term fitness and whether they see her back in the main event picture anytime soon. As a Bliss fan, I'd be happy for her to win it, but my instinct tells me it may well be someone else. Roxanne Perez. Personally, I think Roxanne is here to make up the numbers and to be part of a few spots. It would make for an interesting dynamic with Liv Morgan if she did win the briefcase, but I'd be really surprised if she did. I really don't see her in the championship picture at this time. Unfortunately for Roxanne, I think she's in there because of her size and what she can do for other superstars in the match. Rhea Ripley. Okay, so Rhea really doesn't need this match or this briefcase. If there's one superstar who by default is always hovering around the main event scene, it's Rhea. It would be like putting Cody Rhodes in the men's match. She might win and shock us all, but it certainly would be a surprise to me, a little bit like with Brock winning it a few years ago. But I don't think I see it really. I reckon she's in there to maybe kickstart a feud with someone else in the match, or have her chance ruined by somebody else as outside interference. I think this match might just be a launching pad for Rhea's next feud. Julia. This is an interesting one. So she's fresh from NXT and is just the sort of up-and-comer the WWE may want to give the briefcase to. Her recent move to SmackDown by herself lent some weight to her winning the match and maybe going after Tiffany Stratton. She's a bit of an unknown to me, if I'm honest, but I wouldn't be shocked at all if she walked with the Money in the Bank contract. I feel like it's the sort of MO for WWE to put it on someone like that, so we'll see. Naomi being in the match had me pondering for a moment. She's already embroiled in a serious feud with Jade Cargill, with another one about to blossom with Bianca Belair. Her winning the briefcase sort of takes her away from those red-hot feuds, but might make sense if either Bianca or Jade capture gold in the near future, then suddenly it becomes a masterstroke. My feeling though is that this match will be used to continue a current feud in some sort of fashion, but we'll see how that plays out. This now brings us to Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie is my personal pick to win the match. She's red hot right now, and with her recent call up to Raw, I see big things in her future. She seems to have made an instant connection with the wider WWE fans on Raw, and if she's handled right and she can deliver, I suspect we'll see her towards the top of the card. My main reason for picking her though is she just dropped the NXT Women's title somewhat abruptly a few days ago before getting a big call up to Raw. Could this be to free her up for a title chase on Raw to pave the way, as it were? Seems perfect, doesn't it? The momentum is certainly there with Stephanie and I can see her winning, but what do you lot think? Who do you have down as the winner? On to the men's event now. So there we have Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Penta, Seth Rollins, Andrade and El Grande Americano. Let's talk about Solo for a minute. Since he lost his match against Roman Reigns on the Netflix debut back in January, Solo has been a little lost in the shuffle. It's been interesting what they've done with the bloodline, with Jacob Fatu shining through and slowly becoming the de facto leader, / breaking away possibly, and Solo bringing in new blood. The thing is, I don't see Solo anywhere near the title scene at this point. He's decent fodder against the likes of Cody and Roman, etc. when he needs to be, but that's about it for me. I think a turn on Jacob is inevitable, and I can see a face turn for 2, with Solo trying to take his United States Championship. There's certainly some friction there, and it appears to be where that story train is running. And a Money in the Bank contract sort of detracts from that a little bit, and I think that feud would do just fine without the briefcase. So for those reasons, I just don't see Solo winning this one. LA Knight. There's absolutely no denying that LA Knight is super over and popular with the fans, but I just don't think he's quite there for the main event scene personally. He's entertaining enough and I always enjoy his matches, but when he's on the mic with main event talent, I'm just not sure it works for me. Fans of a certain age will remember Chris Jericho being in this similar spot around the 2000 mark. He was constantly on the fringes of the main event scene without ever really quite being in it, somewhere at the top of the mid-card but not quite there in the main event. LA Knight occupies a very similar spot for me, and I imagine they like him right where he is, elevating those big mid-card matches. Maybe I'm wrong, I'd be interested to see what they did with him if he does win, but I just don't see it. Penta is another one I'd put in this boat. He's super over and seems to be killing it in the mid-card at the moment. But do I see him in a world title race? For me, no. He's another big draw like LA Knight, occupying that same sort of space on Raw, and I think he's good to throw into the mix in this type of matchup, but I don't see him walking away with the briefcase. Seth is the enigma in this one for me. Like, well, why is he there? He could walk straight into a title match tomorrow. He doesn't need the elevation, and he's already sort of called dibs on the winner out of Jay and Gunther, so why is he in the match? What I keep coming back to is Seth winning it. It's the only thing that sort of makes sense to me at the moment. I can imagine him holding the briefcase over the champion's head up until WrestleMania, much like he did 10 years ago with the greatest cash-in ever. Why else would he be there if not to win it? But then, what's his business with him calling dibs on a title shot? Andrade is a good worker and he always puts on top-notch matches. He's great foil for other wrestlers, but I'm struggling to picture him cashing in on a champion. Maybe it's just me, but do you guys see it? I think he's another one thrown in there for the spectacle of the match, and that'll be about it for me. El Grande Americano. I don't even know what to think about this one. Chad Gable? Yeah, I can see it. But in this gimmick, I'm not so sure. His destiny seems to be intertwined with the Lucha Libre wrestlers, which is good for the match, of course, but it doesn't make sense for him to go on and win the briefcase, because what did they do with that then? So, who do I see holding the briefcase on top of the ladder on Saturday? If I had to guess, I would pick Seth. Otherwise, I just don't know what he's doing there, and Seth with the briefcase is a very dangerous concept. You can sort of picture that being must-see television, because Seth is the kind of person who, because when he cashes in, it's very good chance that he wins the title from whoever it is. Not in the same way that we had with Austin Theory a few years ago, if you remember, when he held the briefcase. It just never looked like he was ever going to win it from anybody. So, but with Seth, yeah, every week you're tuning in because you never know. So those are my predictions. I've been wrong in the past, very wrong in the past, and may well be again on Saturday. But I'm going in for Seth and Stephanie as my pick for winners. What do you guys think? Who's going to win on Saturday? Share your thoughts below, and please also like and subscribe if you want to see more of our content. And until next time, keep watching, and we'll see you soon.